Welcome back, class. Student, we are discussing about the IT users licensing in previous session. Now, here we discuss about the how the sporting, uh, basically some sporting, uh, you know, uh, ethics practices of IT users. Fine. Now we talk about just like similarly in many time we know about that the growing use of IT users. IT has increased the potential few ethical issues and a problem because that's a basically a huge market of IT uh, professions and growing businesses for the sake of the business. IT is growing on a every uh, time. That's the basically creating a new issues and new problem that need to be faced, and especially for the organization that need to be you say recognize the need to develop the different policies, some rights. That's something especially to protect the against of the abuses and problem. Although we say no policy can be stop the wrongdoers, the people who want to do a wrong things, that no policy will be acceptable for the people. But the thing is, again, it can be the some general rights, some responsibilities of the users. They need to be according to that. Now, we can say it is a basically some some policies and some rights that need to be every organization need to be describing among the IT profession and as well as the other profession, and they need to be also creating some boundaries. That's a specific behavior that should be acceptable or unacceptable for the IT user, from which if the thing that is not a if they are doing the wrong things and the violation the rules and policies, then create a punishable or not. Okay, that's a third point is that enable management to punish violated if the unacceptable behavior are continuously facing organization, then in this regard they need to be punished. Fine. It is a something that the company, especially for the IT user as well, the all for the all people, they are making the some rules and regulations. Okay. Now we move the next. Yes. Now, in our next, that is a basically again the same concept, separating, supporting the ethical practice for the IT user. Here we are discussing about the policies and the component that includes to establishing some guideline for the use of uh, the company softwares. Okay. Here, just every organization we talk about clearly providing some rules and govern these kind of rules uh, to use the IT devices in home as well as mean to say software IT devices, using this kind of software as a home, whatever in a workplace. Some companies have negotiated with the vendor and contractor this kind of software we will use in for our just for the in working place, mean to say in your organization, not in the home. But some are clearly defined to the people, even though a vendor and supplier, that's we will use this system, even though what where will be the workplace, even though in your mean to say it is your home, it is your offices, whereas okay, that is creating because a discounted package for the organization that providing a legal rights, legal copy to the software. They need to be effectively used office, and even though on a road, in a marketplace, in a home. Okay, that's some guideline about the use of a company software. Now, second is defining some appropriate use of our IT users. If we talk about the appropriate use of our IT users, here you can say that's a reason, some guidelines. Every company must be develop, basically communicate and enforcing some written guidelines, especially for the written guidelines that encouraging employees to respect the corporate IT resources and use them enhance to their job performance. Okay, but again, the some effective, even though are some providing guidelines that will be allowed to the personal use of the personal use of their computer, but the again problem is issue is that when they are using their personal computer and their mobile devices, they need to be not using your to creating objection whether the objectionable internet website is, and even though not creating a harshful harassing messages through email, even though a mobile phone to the other employees. Okay, then second thing is that the IT users and the other professions similarly for the organization purpose, they need to be as properly structuring the information system to protect data and information, and how the data will be managed, and data management security system. It is a very mean to say important for the organization. Reason is that normally if their data is not secure, then IT as well the any hacker will be damage their data, especially for if I'm talking about the structured information system to protect data and information, where you look like as a sales manager. If we talk about the example of a like as sale managers. Okay, uh, a sale manager of a company, he need to be a required the maybe the have the excess of a total sale, and he access of a promotional databases through the company network, and they will access, but they need to be record of a salesman. They need to be keep the record of the a sale manager, the total sale of a company. They have not even though a concern of the promotional plan, even though a company strategies plan. Okay, because thing is that all information of in an organization is not for the all manager, all employees. Okay, we need to limitize. Okay, limited to access where that people are just using their concern information. Okay, it is a way where your structuring information system will be work out, and providing the protect data and information to the concerned people. Okay, now the next is installing and maintaining a corporate firewall. That's the one of important, and you are already familiar about this. That is a again a firewall hardware, that is software that we serve as a barrier between the organization network and the internet. Okay, a firewall that is a basically limitized to access the company network based on our organization internet website and internet use policies. Okay, that is a one of a blocking criteria, that you can block the different website that is creating a harmful and uh, creating a harassing problem, and even though a social media that will be create a problem for in future, especially that the you need to be use the firewall, and you just access limited website, limited browsing you will be allowed to your employees for just for the further that create not a problem. Okay, it not be a harmful for the organization place. Okay, that is some guideline and policy that I'm talking about this. And now we can move on our next slides. Now, student, we are discussing about the compliance, and it is a one of a major concept, and some that is a important thing is that in a compliance mean to say that's defining some standards, some policies, and some rules and regulation that for governing and for administration of the organization. Compliance mean that according to the establishing policy guideline and specific information legislation that create a system, a legal system where people can do the easily work. Okay, now compliance is an important thing. Like there's you can read that's to accordance with the establishing policies, guidelines, specific legislation. Some example we discuss mean to say like such as the Sarbanes-Oxley, that's establishing Act of 2022. Okay, and I just marked them. Yes, I'm talking about the Sarbanes-Oxley that established in 2022, that establishing for the requirement for the internal control. Okay, that's basically internal control of to govern and creating the proper documentation for the accuracy and complete the financial system, financial statement, financial record. Okay. Similarly, we talk about the HIPAA, that is a basically health insurance um, pro portability and accountability act. It will be established in 1996. That is creating ensure to security and privacy of employees' healthcare data. Okay, in which the complete health record data is basically stored and managed from this act law. And now thing is that normally these kind of law and legislation is basically introduced uh, for the company as well, for the protection of the employers and the employer, both of them, even though they have the rights, and if they will be anyone are creating a problem for employer perspective as for the employer perspective, that's creating a harmful. And if the people are failure to establishing and doing some violation in these rules, then it's creating a conformance can lead to the criminal or a civil penalties and also a lawsuit. And you can go in a court, and you can for your safety purpose you can go in a court and against your organization, even though organization can go for in court, sue and fire their employees just for the if they are not keep these things. Okay, so the next major challenges we need to be faced with the multiple government and industry and regulation that are sometime in conflicts. To meet these challenges, that you need to be employed the software to track and record the compliance actions, and need to be hired the management consultant for advice and training, how we can protect our data, how we can train our peoples. Okay, then you can get some advices from higher management and consultants, and at least you are creating a chief compliance officer position who will be basically control all these things, that the things are going to be a smooth way and that not creating a problem for the any professions. Okay, these are the again some standards policies that our organization basically cleared the things. And now the next slide is similarly. Here's some committee I'm talking about, that just like audit committee, that is a subset of the board of director with the oversight for the following activities, and that's especially used for the how we can improve our quality administration quality. Okay, how the the HOD, your directors, your principal, your administrator, who can apply these quality rules and regulation, how the team will be going to work. Now that some points is there, some audit committees are basically choosing this kind of activity, doing their performing some act look like that service, basically just ensure that the quality and integrity of accounting to report the practices and control are governed or not. Fine. Second thing is that like compliance with the legal and regulatory requirement are okay, is not okay, and the qualification and independence and performance of organization independent auditors from the internal and external auditor are involved in theirs or not. Okay, otherwise, because that's in many organizations, especially in our corporate business, public interest is involved, then they need to be especially their financial record, they need to be viewed from the internal as well as the license registered government external editor. They are verify these statements. Performance of a company's internal audit team also included is there. In some cases, you say just like in a form of a reporting purpose, that some companies take a especially in a audit committee, take a some record of some companies that creating a problem and not a basically using the country, state, even though a law, and they are violating the law and creating a problem. Even though I'm talking about the piracy, software piracy, just like in China. Similarly, in a company of Senstar Technology that design, manufacturing, distribute the electronic sensors and controls that conduct investigation into a whether certain company official, and that's the sometime violation, not doing their work according to the sensors and creating a problem. Okay, then different company are basically not following the rules. So the internal audit committee responsibilities, again, they need to be determined that the internal system and control are effective or not. That's need to be verifying existing of company assets and maintain proper safeguarding over their protection or not. And plus they are measuring the organization compliances with its own policies and procedures. And the last point is evaluate, educate, and reliability of information available for the management decision making. That's all are basically protecting the your data, your administration work, and for accurate decisions. Okay, that is a compliance topic that we are discussing about the, especially that's providing some rules regulation for the corporate governance. Like, okay, now the next is the now I'm talking about the IT security and incident that's a major concern. IT security incident in which you are know about the IT industry crimes, number of crimes that are basically IT peoples are face, IT software, especially IT professional are faced because many other people are attacking their data. Okay, and then how they can be protected, and but the thing first we will be realize the how the basically kind of problem with the organization facing the internet crime. Okay, now security information as well, it's a use in a business is a at most important for the every business. Okay, but the if we talk about the safeguarding purpose, that is creating a problem for every businesses, like confidential business data that is required for every business. Okay, that is providing the safeguard. Okay, the confidential business data, and especially the private customer and employees data. Okay, these information is providing a safeguard, and system should be protected against different malicious act of theft and disruption. Okay, that is a creating a problem. Every system need to be protected. Every organization try to be protect against the malicious act of the theft and disruption about their confidential data and private customer employees data. Fine, but even though again thing is that we have not a balancing against other businesses need and issue, but the IT user that face a number of ethical decisions regarding to IT security that show in this table. You can say the percentage of organization that experience this type of incident like 2008 and 9, as well as in 2010, just like malware infections. The malware infection, you are already familiar, different type of malware infection we normally face. It may be malware that is basically one of a type of maybe the virus type of your worm trojans that will be harmful to your system. Okay, in popular, if I'm talking about some popular malware infection, just time maybe you have idea, just but the people who are not have an idea, I just talking about them. Just like first one, if we talk about the ransom ransomwares. Okay, sorry, ransomwares. That is a one of a software that use the encryption of and creating a disabled target access of the data until ransom and paid. Mean to say that is creating a your it is a form of a software and the block your data, and if you the when you will be that is not you will not be easily access of your data. Okay, that creating a problem to access the data, and you need to be paid, okay, some ransom to pay. Okay, and second malware type is that is a popular crypto. Okay, that's a crypto. That's a crypto mining malware infection your computer and use your especially CPU cycles. Okay, it's damage your CPU cycles and to mine the Bitcoin and for your attack and the profit, and it will be creating a problem for the crypto. And if we talk about the third one, it is a computer worms, and you may be the familiar about this computer worm. Okay, computer worm is also replicate itself by the infection of other computer on other simply network, and computer program hacker usually use to rake destruction and gain access to sensitive information about the from the system. Okay, it is again a another malware yeah, infection, and some are especially the viruses that it basically damages your system, Trojan virus and other ones, and it create a one of a problem for us, like virus that is a basically a piece of computing code that insert itself in the code of another standalone program and create different action, make a malicious action for the user end. Okay, that creating a problem for the, and the ratio you can see from the malware infection 50%, 60 and 67% in 2010, and being fraudulently represented in the sender of the email messages requested personal information, like this ratio 31 to in 2039, and laptop and mobile hardware losses the 34th, and employers abuse of the internet access or email access, and phonographics and use of pirated software is the ratio that 25%. Okay, it is a number of IT related security incident in increasing around the world. Now, class, we move on our next slides. It is a ratio that we are discussing some percentage. Now, the cybersecurity incident from past year, that is the updated data, where the malware infection, again, the employee devices 42%, lost stolen employee devices 37%, malware infection, backend infrastructure 31, and again, customer records stolen 20. That is different percentages that attacking your computer, your information are be not safe, and some hackers, some IT user, even though they are basically doing bad act and different action for the organization data. Fine. Now, why that is this incident are the so prevalent, that basically increasing the one thing is that increasing the complexity, increase vulnerability. Okay, vulnerability. This is a one of a major thing that computing environment enormously complex. It create a problem for us. Okay, okay, and that's continuous increasing the complexity, number of entry points expanded continuously. Okay, in today computer environment, increasing the complexity, higher user expectation, expanding and changing system, growing reliance on the software, well on the, like I'm talking about the uh, vulnerability. That's the type of attacking that the harmful for the physical and emotionally. Okay, vulnerability mean that's a basically attack on your data, attack that will be harmful for the, even though physically you can create a problem and emotionally, just for that's the uh, again, it is no wonder that the number and the variety and impact of security incident increase that dramatically. But the if we talk about the different criteria, that computing environment is a much complex nowadays, just uh, for the number of cybercrime, number of issues. Okay. Now, if higher computer user expectations, if in our next slide, I guess I just want to show the countries with the highest rate of infected computers, countries with the lowest rate of infected. Like here, you can say we have different, just like Sudan, there is 70%. Okay. It is now if we talk about the Japan, is just 6%, but Bangladesh 64%, and Iraq 62%, Nepal, and these are the basically country that is a lowest rate of infected, but these are a huge. And what the reason behind this? That is a sometimes we can say that is a underdeveloped countries, that their data, their IT expert is not have a much uh, you know uh, uh, trained, and they are not be able to uh, keep the people, especially the hackers. So we create this type of, get different attacks are faced this data of these kind of countries. Okay, and that is some ranking. And now if we talk about the now going to on a previous some expectation that we want to share with you people. Well, we are talking just the countries with the highest rate of infected computers and lowest rate. And underdeveloped country, we find there is a facing the number of infected computers and issues, just for they have not a secure plan. Now the thing again, like we talk about the vulnerability, that's again the computing environment has become an universally complex network, computer, operating system, application, websites, and switches, routers, and gateway that is interconnected and driven by the hundred of million line of code. Okay, it increased the possibility of security breaches. Similarly, just I cleared the screen. Yes, and organization that operate, and another problem that we need to be faced is that the cloud computing. Now, in a cloud environment, the software and data storage are services provided via the internet on the cloud. The service can run on another organization computer hardware and are accessed via the web browser. In the same time, mean to say, some is the uploading the data and second is the accessing the data, but the hacker is involved in this and creating a problem and damaging some data of the company hand. Fine. It is also for the cloud point of view, it creating again the problem for us, and for the storage problem. And but again, every problem, that creating basically some measurements for the that creating a attention for the IT and business manager, that should be insist that the employees choose the from list of the violated cloud service to avoid the potential issues. Okay, that's again which kind of issues we can be then we need to be uh, just answer these questions to are the interface between the cloud server and user skills with the appropriate level of access and control. Yes and yes. Okay, is the data encrypted as travel over the internet? Yes. Does the services provide that is basically some security check when you are providing and using your cloud services, then you need to be safe it. Okay, and last one is the virtualization, that also introduced and creating a again that's again a problem, another problem, that mean virtualization introduce further complication to today environment, computer environment, that virtualization software operate in a software layer that run on the top of the operating system. Okay, operating system that enable the multiple virtual machine, and each with their own operating system to run a single computer. Each of these virtual machine perform as if it is a separate computer, completing required tasks for the user and application designed to the virtual machine, then the visualizer tag take the advantage fact that most of the physical servers utilize less than 10% of their hardware capacity. But with the visualization, workload from the multiple physical server can be handled by separate virtual machines and a single physical server. But thing is that again, they are sharing and system utilization, sharing the information that reducing number of server required to handle the organization processing needs. Okay, that's a visualization, some advantage, but some disadvantage just because of the sharing the information. Okay, and now if the thing again, next, if we discuss the next slide. Here, that's the higher computer expectation again. This is that is the time today. We faster computer user can solve but this partner sometimes using like uh, problems means to say higher computer user expectation here computers are run but the many people are using many users are using this system it will be creating a for the system. Sometimes user have appear their login ID in the account, but the other page of services. The boss is doing and you are using different passwords and they change their password. That's when it's middle of the process in the information system and the properties. Which the reason is that they are increasing difficulty of the players competition. It's with not be as a first mountain that increasing difficulty in manufacturing which is made because that information technology these things I think can come from the way the chef and feel of the technology. That is the kind of digital what is the necessity for the sustainability of the provided to provide Portugal has now there are next management yes, if you are doing your on the right and how to create a problem. Students, normally you know the doing your on the right beyond the issue that is a business policy. So you know the inquiry, use your plans, guidelines, developing information can be application including the application including the in Say that is a company resources will be reduced, and company are basically not providing the independent devices and a company behalf of devices to their employees, so they allow to their employees to get their own devices. But thing is that again that create a problem when the employees are using the different risky websites, blogs, social media that create a malware again. Okay. Okay, class, that is some internet crime. We are discussing about the week 5, and the week 5 is now going to be end, and inshallah in week 6 we will continue internet crime and different concepts. Okay, Allah Hafiz, take care.